Why are women always unhappy? The truth no one tells you. It's not men. It's not society. It's disconnection from themselves. Stay till the end. It reveals what every woman secretly craves but never says out loud. Seeking validation. Consider the modern canvas upon which life is painted. Every corner of our existence, particularly for women, is subtly, sometimes overtly, sculpted by the gaze of others. From the earliest days, the gentle encouragement to be nice, to be pretty, to fit in, plant seeds that blossom into an insidious need for external validation. This isn't merely about approval, it's about a deep, often unconscious belief that our worth is determined by how well we adhere to a shifting external standard. Think of the endless scroll, the carefully crafted posts, the silent tally of likes and comments. Each interaction becomes a tiny dose, a fleeting affirmation that momentarily fills an inner void, only to leave it larger, more demanding, the moment the external supply ceases. This constant seeking is a relentless drain, an outsourcing of your inner peace to factors entirely beyond your control. You become a leaf in the wind, tossed by the opinions and perceptions of a world that does not and cannot truly know you. The truth is, genuine worth is not a gift bestowed by others. It is a recognition cultivated within. Until you reclaim this fundamental truth, the well of unhappiness will never run dry. The pursuit of external validation is a pursuit of shadows, for the light you seek must first ignite from within your own core. Endless comparison. We live in an age of mirrors, not just the physical ones, but the digital reflections that show us endless versions of perfect. For women, the landscape of comparison is particularly fertile and brutal. You are bombarded with images of success, beauty, motherhood, career milestones, all carefully curated, often entirely unreal. The human mind, in its default setting, is a master of comparison. It quantifies, it judges, it places itself in a hierarchy. When you immerse yourself in a culture that incessantly presents idealized versions of life, your inner dialogue begins to whisper, then to shout, "You are not enough, you are falling behind, you lack what she has." This constant internal measurement is a poison. It steals your joy in the present, diminishes your achievements, and casts a shadow of inadequacy over your entire existence. The insidious nature of this comparison is that it robs you of your unique path, your unique pace, and your unique purpose. You are constantly striving to be someone else, to achieve someone else's definition of success, rather than cultivating the rich, fertile ground of your own being. The antidote is not to look away, but to understand the illusion. What you see is a sliver, a highlight reel. It is not the full, complex, often messy reality. Your journey is your own, and the only comparison that truly matters is with the person you were yesterday. And suppressed self. Consider the myriad roles society expects women to embody: caregiver, nurturer, partner, professional, friend, ideal body, perfect host. Each role comes with a script, a set of expectations that, while sometimes beautiful and fulfilling, can also become a cage if not consciously chosen and integrated. The pressure to be all things to all people can lead to a profound suppression of the authentic self. Your desires, your boundaries, your true voice can become secondary to the perceived needs and expectations of others. Over time, this suppression creates a deep chasm between who you truly are and the persona you present to the world. The discomfort, the irritation, the pervasive sense of unease, these are not random feelings. They are the whispers of your authentic self, crying out from beneath the layers of expectation and obligation. This isn't about selfishness, it's about self-preservation, about honoring the unique spirit that resides within you. When you consistently prioritize external harmony over internal integrity, you erode the very foundation of your happiness. The energy required to maintain a false self is immense, leaving little left for genuine joy or creative expression. True happiness emerges when you align your actions with your innermost truths, when you dare to unbecome everything you are not. Unseen labor. There's a quiet, pervasive burden that often goes unacknowledged, particularly for women, the invisible labor, It's not just the physical tasks, the cooking, cleaning, caring, but the mental load. The remembering of birthdays, the planning of schedules, the emotional regulation of family dynamics, the anticipation of needs before they are articulated. This is the unseen, unpraised, often uncompensated work that keeps the world running smoothly, yet silently drains the wellspring of personal energy and joy. This constant state of vigilance, of anticipating and solving problems before they arise, creates a perpetual state of low-grade stress. It leaves little room for spontaneity, for creative thought, for simply being. When your mental space is consumed by a never-ending checklist of responsibilities, both tangible and intangible, you lose connection with your deeper self, your passions, your aspirations. The absence of recognition for this labor compounds the issue, leading to feelings of resentment, exhaustion, and a profound sense of being taken for granted. To break free, you must first bring this invisible burden into the light, acknowledge its weight, and consciously begin to offload what is not yours to carry or to reframe how you carry it. Your capacity is not infinite, and true strength lies in knowing your limits and protecting your internal resources. Defining worth. At the core of much unhappiness lies a fundamental misunderstanding of what constitutes genuine worth. In a society that often equates value with productivity, with external achievement, with youth and beauty, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing your worth is conditional. For women, this trap can feel particularly inescapable. You are told you must be beautiful, but not vain, intelligent, but not intimidating, successful, but not at the expense of family, nurturing, but also independent. These conflicting messages create an impossible standard, a moving target that ensures you can never truly arrive at enough. This belief that your value is something you must earn through constant striving and adherence to external ideals is a relentless source of anxiety and self-doubt. You become caught in a perpetual loop of seeking validation, performing roles, and comparing yourself, all because the foundational belief in your inherent, unconditional worth has been eroded. The truth is, your worth is not something you acquire. It is intrinsic. It is not something you can lose. It is an inseparable part of your being. Until you consciously sever the link between external achievement and internal value, you will remain on a hamster wheel of discontent, forever chasing a phantom sense of adequacy, reclaiming identity. The first habit, the most potent practice, is the house reclaiming identity. This is not about declaring a new identity, but about shedding the layers of identities that have been imposed upon you, that you have unconsciously adopted. Understand this: much of your suffering stems from identifying with external roles, with the stories others tell about you, or even the stories you tell yourself based on external feedback. You are not your job title, not your relationship status, not your physical appearance, not the sum of your accomplishments or failures. These are all temporary expressions, garments you wear. To reclaim identity is to understand that beneath all these transient forms, there is an unchanging essence, a core of pure awareness, pure potential. How do you practice this? Through consistent self-observation. When a thought arises, I should be doing more. I am not thin enough. I am a bad mother. Pause. Do not judge it. Do not suppress it. Simply observe it. Ask, who is thinking this thought? Is this thought truly me? Or is it a conditioned response, a societal echo? Begin to create a space between the thought and your awareness. This space is where your true identity resides. It's the silent observer, the unshakable consciousness that precedes all labels. Over time, you begin to weaken the grip of these false identities. You realize that you have roles, but you are not defined by them. You experience emotions, but you are not controlled by them. This detachment from the superficial allows the genuine self to emerge unburdened by external expectations. It's a profound shift from being the character in the play to becoming the playwright, the director, the entire stage. Cultivating detachment. The second indispensable habit is cultivating detachment. This is often misunderstood as apathy or indifference, but it is precisely the opposite. Detachment is not about ceasing to care. It is about caring without being consumed by the outcome. It is the ability to engage fully with life, with your passions, with your relationships, but without clinging to specific results or fearing their loss. For women, who are often conditioned to seek security in relationships, instability, in predictable outcomes, this practice is revolutionary. We are taught to attach our happiness to the success of our children, the approval of our partners, the stability of our homes, the praise of our colleagues. When these external conditions inevitably shift, as all things do, our happiness shatters. Detachment means recognizing the impermanence of all things. It means loving fiercely, but accepting that the nature of love, like all things, is change. It means pursuing your goals with dedication, but understanding that your worth is not tied to their achievement or failure. The practice involves regularly asking yourself, am I clinging? Am I placing my peace in something outside of my control? When you find yourself deeply agitated by an outcome, a comment, or a perceived slight, it is a signal that you have become overly attached. Consciously practice releasing that grip. Visualize it, if you must, as opening your hand and allowing a thought or an expectation to float away. This doesn't mean you stop striving for excellence or loving deeply. It means you do so from a place of inner freedom, rather than anxious grasping. It is through this non-attachment that true inner resilience is forged, an unshakable core that remains stable amidst life's inevitable storms. Defining value. The third habit, crucial for unshackling from unhappiness, is defining value. As we discussed, much suffering arises from an externally dictated sense of worth. This habit is the conscious, deliberate act of establishing your own internal criteria for value, separate from societal metrics. For too long, you have allowed external forces to tell you what is good, what is worthy, what is beautiful. This habit is the rebellion, the declaration of your own sovereign truth. How do you begin? Start by questioning every single assumption you hold about success, beauty, and happiness. Ask yourself, what truly resonates with my deepest self? What brings me a profound sense of meaning, regardless of external recognition or reward? This might be a quiet moment in nature, a creative pursuit, a meaningful conversation, the simple act of presence with a loved one, the discipline of a daily practice. These are not grand gestures. They are often the subtle inner experiences that nourish your spirit. Once you identify these, prioritize them. Intentionally carve out time and energy for them, even if they seem insignificant by conventional standards. When you consciously anchor your sense of value in these intrinsic experiences, the external pressures begin to lose their power. You begin to build an inner framework of worth that cannot be undermined by a changing world, by a critical comment, or by a shifting trend. Your compass turns inward, guiding you by the light of your own authentic values, rather than the flickering glow of fleeting external approval. This is the foundation of genuine self-respect, an unshakable inner knowing that you are enough, exactly as you are. Embracing impermanence. The fourth habit, deeply rooted in ancient wisdom, is embracing impermanence. This is the profound understanding that everything in this existence is in a constant state of flux. Nothing lasts. Not joy, not sorrow, not youth, not beauty, not possessions, not even life itself in its current form. For women, societal pressures often demand a clinging to youth, to an idealized image, to the permanence of relationships or family structures. When these inevitably change, the suffering can be immense, because the resistance to change is immense. To embrace impermanence is to consciously cultivate an awareness of this fundamental truth in your daily life. Observe the changing seasons, the passing clouds, the rise and fall of emotions within you. When you experience a moment of joy, savor it fully, but also acknowledge its transient nature. When you face a moment of difficulty, lean into it, but also remind yourself that this too shall pass. This is not a resignation to fate, but a liberation from the illusion of control. It allows you to appreciate the beauty of the present moment without the anxiety of trying to hold onto it, and to face challenges with resilience, knowing they are not eternal. The more you attune yourself to the rhythm of change, the less you will suffer from its inevitable dance. This habit fosters a deep sense of peace, an understanding that life is a river, not a stagnant pond. To resist its flow is to thrash against its current. To flow with it is to find effortless movement. This acceptance of life's true nature is a profound act of self-love, freeing you from the futile struggle against reality. Cultivating stillness. The final and perhaps most transformative habit is cultivating stillness. In a world designed to constantly stimulate, distract, and demand your attention, finding stillness is an act of radical rebellion, a necessary pilgrimage back to yourself. For women who are often conditioned to be responsive, to multitask, to always be on, the idea of doing nothing can feel unproductive, even lazy. Yet, it is in this very stillness that profound insights emerge, that clarity is found, and that the emotional addictive cycle of external seeking is finally broken. Stillness is not merely the absence of external noise, it is the quieting of the internal chatter. It is consciously stepping away from the endless stream of thoughts, worries, and plans that dominate your mind. This can be through formal meditation, but it can also be found in simple moments. Sitting in silence with your morning tea, taking a mindful walk, gazing out a window without a phone in hand, or simply closing your eyes for a few minutes and focusing on your breath. The purpose is not to empty your mind, which is often an impossible task, but to observe its activity without judgment, to create a space between you and your thoughts. In this space, you begin to discern the true whispers of your intuition from the clamor of external expectations. You reconnect with your own inner wisdom, a source of guidance far more reliable than any external pundit or social media trend. This practice rebuilds your energetic reserves, clarifies your purpose, and allows you to respond to life from a place of calm strength rather than reactive exhaustion. This is the ultimate detox for the mind and spirit, the path to reclaiming sovereignty over your inner world, and the true secret to lasting, unshakable peace. The truth is, unhappiness is not a female condition. It is a human condition, amplified by patterns of thought and societal pressures that often disproportionately affect women. The liberation, however, is universal. It lies not in changing the world around you, but in transforming the world within you. It is in breaking free from the unseen chains of validation, comparison, suppression, external value, and constant striving. These 5 habits, reclaiming identity, cultivating detachment, defining value, embracing impermanence, and cultivating stillness, are not quick fixes. They are a profound path, a lifelong practice of intentional living, a courageous journey back to your authentic, unburdened self. This is where true strength lies, and this is where enduring peace is found. Which habit are you going to start first to cultivate your inner peace? Drop your choice below. Let's inspire each other.